What's going on, guys? Let's see here. Woo! It's gonna be a wild podcast today. As you can see, we've got not only one this special guest this time, but two. And I'd like to welcome Oscar and Macradon to the show. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having me once again.
Hey, thanks.
And as
This is gonna be
always,
fun.
we have our wonderful co-host, Hickey.
Hello, all
How
you
you doing this
beautiful
morning,
ladies
bud?
and gentlemen. I'm doing well. I have some coffee with some coconut creamer, and I woke up like an hour ago, so I'm like wide awake this time compared to last time where I was half asleep. And people, I know I sounded stoned, but I promise you,
He was.
I was not. I was not. Maybe a little. Not really. No, I'm kidding.
We here at SAO-RPG staff, somehow, some
It's
way,
kind of crazy, dude.
halfway don't condone the use of drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Oh God, Jesus! I'm sorry, people
Um,
with earbuds, because that just hurt me.
They need to know the truth.
Hey, it's some states it's legal.
That's true.
Facts.
Mine's one of them. Hehe.
and if you're on the SAO RPG, we go by maritime law, so we don't care.
All is fair and love is war.
And yachts.
That too. Well, at any rate, we're in for a pretty interesting episode. So to kick things off, as always, Hickey, being for development, what anything we got going on, or of sorts? Anything at all?
A lot of it really has not been much focus on pushing out new quests, but we're prepping for 3.0 and preparing quests for the new update that comes after the Floor 25 boss, which I'm pretty sure everybody's pretty hyped about, and we're actually almost there. 3.0 has been in development since what? 2016, 2017?
Arguably 2015.
2015, honestly. And now we're actually seeing the push to actually release it. And I think that is something very excited for everybody, not just me. I'm personally very hyped about it. And I've been kind of like about it, like just watching the fight go down and everything, and just been really happy. But staff on at least my end is scrambling to get everything prepped and ready because it's a lot of stuff because we're not just rewriting the quests, we're also rewriting the floors and working on a lot there too to make it more more of a deep dive when you get into SAO, because if you look at like floor 11, floor 12, floor 13, they're barely a paragraph long. And it makes it really difficult to want to write on those floors, and we're trying to make it so that every floor has something to write about. Because if we give people something to write about, we're going to see more action on things that are more than quests. We're going to see people wanting to explore floors, wanting to figure out secrets and such. It's just really exciting to see what's being pushed out and what I'm seeing everyone else on staff do. It's been really nice just to see that.
Nice. Yeah,
Excuse me,
I know it's always fun seeing a lot of the stuff that you guys push out, happily and loved by the community. I know what you guys do on Florida is a lot of work, and we thank you very much for all your effort. Let's see here. What about events?
Well,
Don't all talk at once.
we did have a Valentine's event, but we don't discuss that. It didn't go well.
That went in a direction none of us were expecting, none of us wanted, and just kind of happened.
Yeah. So, though there was some good that came from it. I think after discussion, everybody came to a general consensus that if it's an event thread or if it's a raid, just don't act on every impulse you have. So it was an important conversation to have um, before like it got way out of hand.
We're looking at you, Mac.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mac.
No, really, like, I am sorry that it really went that bad as it did. Because it was just a small thing that Mario and I did, and it just didn't go as small as I had hoped it would be.
Yeah, but you have to think about it though. Being in this kind of a community where everything is kind of a play by post, and there's you can't really control what people do or don't do. You gotta kind of expect some of that to happen, to be honest.
But still, I'd like to say sorry for the actions that I've done in that thread.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
at least
as a person that wasn't involved in it at all, I forgive you.
Sure, I'll take that. We take those.
But hey,
That's as close as we're getting.
live and learn, right? Move on, learn from past actions.
Yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody
Yeah.
have those days.
It's only humor, or it's only human and
Okay,
humor.
Hannah Montana.
All of both.
It's both.
Thanks.
Well, moving on. Do we know if there's been any missions for what people want to see in different quests or events? Anything coming up?
Well, as far as quests go, um, we're running into an issue, and I don't know how keenly the floor team is, but from a systems perspective, a lot of our quests feel very samey. Um, it's either roll a loot die to find a thing and either pick up thing or kill thing. Um, so what I would like to see personally, and there hasn't been much discussion on the topic, but maybe finding a way to shake it up a little bit, because yeah, when you first start out, these quests are real interesting, but having just gone through the hoops I needed to do to reach tier 3, I can tell you, like, the moment I hit level 50, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. We out. We're waiting for the raid.
Okay. But I know we do have, I think there's a couple topics out there for people in the rest of the public community to submit any ideas for quests and stuff. I think those could be mentioned to Morg as well. So if you guys have any ideas for that, go ahead and reach out or apply for the floor development team.
Jeez.
And speaking of the word floor, what we got going on for floors?
We have hardwood, softwood. We have some cobble. They're
Do you
pretty
have
nice. They feel
do you have
good
some
under your feet.
Is there
laminate vinyl?
marble?
Oh, you gotta get the marble in there. True.
I can't afford the marble. I want the laminate vinyl.
Oh, the laminate vinyl is pretty nice. It is a lot cheaper, but it's not gonna last as long as. Okay, okay, this bit is done. We're going too far into it.
Hey
Talking
man,
to
we got
myself
talk.
here.
We're keep in mind, we have a wonderful real estate community in SAO, so people are buying up floor plots. Hey man. easy
Yeah,
there.
like, do we get to like choose which kind of flooring we have in our housing?
Absolutely.
I honestly think you
Go
do.
see your local carpentry.
Yeah.
My guy, you could live in a pumpkin if you wanted to.
What if I wanted to live
sec.
under a pineapple
Don't
under
you-
the sea?
Don't you talk about my familiar like that. No one will ever forget Sir Roland the Pumpkin. I still think he's the
Don't-
best familiar come to date.
Don't
I would
get
have
me
to agree.
started. Don't get me started on familiars, because I got words.
Goblin.
At any rate, what floor are we on?
It's on floor 25, but I
Still?
think
Jeez.
what? Yeah. What part of the raid are we on though? The fight. What?
Labyrinth boss.
Yeah, we're at the
Yeah,
lab boss
the-
still.
they're not even past phase 1.
Oh,
Yep.
they're not past phase 1. Oh.
No, and that fight has been a nightmare. It's
I'm
been a
gonna go.
nightmare, like on all fronts. Like,
I'm just looking at my boy. Okay, you guys don't understand how much I loved this boss. And I told you, I think I talked about it a little bit, but just seeing this fight just slowly go is just so cool. Because the freaking ballista, I swear, somebody needs to make, and I
yeah,
think Bal said something, somebody needs to make another quest where this same mechanic is used because it is such a cool mechanic and it's so much fun to see. And I think I would love it if every player got to have a chance to mess with it.
yeah, and when we made the Lab Guardian, it was wildly different than what they're fighting right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like there were 4 phases, but but admittedly, not a lot of mechanics.
I will admit I did not do my best part on this. It was a very rough draft.
Yeah, but that's what you got your bros for, dude. You know,
Yeah.
because I went in and I tinkered with it, and now we have this. You know,
And honestly,
and
this fight is a lot better than the previous one. Because like as cool as the last one was, because there was gonna be a bunch of phases and its name meant something. So I feel like he knew with the name. It was a lot of stuff that I was thinking about. But then you came in and changed it, and I just looked at it and I was like, this is so much better than anything I could have made. Like I love
speaking
this boss.
speaking of changes, Hick, after the podcast, I recently had an idea for the actual floor boss
Okay.
that I wanted to talk to you about because I know this is your baby, and I wanted to
Yeah.
let you know where I'm going with those mechanics.
Alrighty. I'm
Don't
down
want
to
to
talk.
spoil it for anybody else, so we're not going to talk about it here.
All
But
right, sweet.
it's gonna look pretty hype. I got to commit it to paper. Bar and I are going ham on it. We're not necessarily trying to scale it to our strongest players, but we're trying to make it so that everybody can have fun because 425 is sort of a last hurrah for 2.0. It's out with the old, in with the new, and we want people who like Macradon and Zandra who are almost at or at level cap to just really go ape shit on it.
Yeah, we want them. That's kind of what I really wanted in general. Like when I was making the boss, I was like, I want the older players and the veteran players that are like my level, because I'm level 80. Like I'm not at Wimpy levels. Like let's be real. I want them to enjoy this just as much as a level 50 player would, but I want to make it so it's not overly challenging for the level 50. And that was hard for me. That's kind of why I passed it off to you guys, because I was like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not the best with numbers.
I'm scaling the fight itself to level 50 players, but the mechanics are going to be interesting for everybody.
Sweet.
As a player and not as a developer, I'm gonna say that I'm super hyped from what I'm hearing and not just what I've seen. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
always
just wait
good to
for
be
phase
excited.
2 because all this shade y'all throwing at the boss in character, that I'm gonna make y'all eat those words. Because phase 2, we buffed it and it was already crazy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, this one was my child too. I just didn't love this one as much. This is like the second born compared to the firstborn.
Like that's what my parents said to me, and I don't really have siblings.
Mash, you can't. Don't feel
Oof.
bad.
Ooh, big oof.
That kind of hurt. Anyways,
That hurt
moving on.
me.
I don't know where to go from here.
That's
Well,
rough.
we just had the boss discussion. Anybody got anything they want to talk about other than the boss?
All right, we didn't really talk about what's going on, and I mean, we'll get to what's going on later. But yeah, if there's anything you guys want to talk about with either that boss or potentially some upcoming ones, I don't know, whatever tickles your fancy.
Well, I want to double back to events real quick,
Go for it.
because we did have an idea, and I think everyone will enjoy it. As you guys know, when I campaigned to to become staff, one of my campaign promises was Drunk Aincrad 2020. So to fulfill that promise, we're planning an event that's basically a tavern crawl, and one of the rewards is a consumable item with 3 charges that will get you hammered.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh. Bro! You did not
And
just say that.
I am not taking credit for this idea. This wasn't my idea. I'm just telling you of it.
Oh my gosh, I'm actually kind
Um,
of hyped for that. That's pretty lit.
full credit goes to Bar. That was his idea. I think St. Patrick's Day is either coming up or has passed. Either way, we're
Coming
gonna go
up.
ahead and get that out for y'all. It's coming up. We'll go ahead and get that out for y'all. But it's just gonna be like a fun social thing. And if you want to pull the chaotic nonsense that you did in the gala, this is the perfect time. Have a bar fight. Break a stool
Aw.
over Hick's head.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Sounds
let's
incredible.
do it.
Honestly,
Okay.
though.
Real talk. I feel like if I had somehow gotten that consumable, I would be the person to use it at a boss fight.
I can see that.
Because I did that at Sheeptar. I think I played Hickett as drunk
Sheeptar.
because
Oh my god.
yeah. Does anyone remember that? I remember that.
I miss Mac.
I don't remember Sheep Tar because this was before my time.
Okay,
I was busy
basically,
balancing a Pokemon roleplay.
Sheeptar was stupidly broken.
Yeah.
Oh, very.
I mean, horribly. And I played my character drunk. And Oscar, I need you to follow me. This is before the health
Okay, I'm
update.
listening, man.
So this is back when we had like less than 100 health. Normally, I lived after an attack with literally 1 health. Literally. I will go and pull up the screenshots. 1 health was left on my character.
Did you
And I lived.
did you sober up? Did you sober up at least?
Oh yeah, no, he sobered up real quick.
Okay, see that's the important part. That is the nuanced writing that I'm here for.
I was like, okay, all right, because I think that was after the whole Ari phase thing happened, where she like killed Blow, so Hick was like drowning his sorrows, and that's what happened. Honestly, I do not regret joining that thread because it was such good character development, even though we said it wasn't canon. I found some more things about Hick that I didn't know before, and it helped me as a writer. It was great, even though I almost died, and I would have cried.
See, that's the shit we're here for, man. That's that good.
Exactly, that's the great stuff.
That good.
Yeah. But yeah, now again, this is not my idea. Full credit to Bar for this idea. And then once you use that consumable, there's no more getting drunk until next St. Patrick's Day, or we get like to floor 70 something. Is that the canon you can get drunk floor?
Something about there.
I'm looking it up now. Floor where
Same.
you can get drunk SAO.
It was in one of the games, I believe. I think Silica unfortunately got hammered,
What?
which is just wrong on several levels.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a little girl and she getting drunk. Like, let's not do that.
I'm looking.
SAO-RPG does not condone underage drinking.
No, we do not.
It says in Project Alicization, drinking alcoholic beverages produces the effects, but at the most before that, players would feel a light in the head if they consumed too much of it. So that's like it. Like you're gonna feel it in your head, like a little buzz, but like that's the most you would get, is what I'm finding. But I could be missing something. That's very normal for me.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was in one of the games where like one of the higher floors was featured, and like only on that floor could you get wasted.
We can we can make it any floor we want. This is a SAO-RPG. We can set our own limits. Get
Exactly.
drunk at floor 5.
Floor 5.
Oh, that that's not gonna end well.
No,
it will
really
end
is not.
great.
I will be making sand angels, right? Yeah, sand.
You can.
He's
The
gonna
only
do
way you
Hawk,
could get Oscar. The only way you could get Oscar to go back to 4 or 5 was if you tempted him with alcohol, because Oscar's thing is he hates the heat, and
Shark's
he's completed
Isolation was
all
on
the
floor
quests
5.
on that floor. I'm sorry.
Shark's Isolation was on floor 5.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord, I couldn't imagine role playing that because Oscar's like he hates the heat, and now that he's done all the quests on that floor, he's like, nope, not
Guys.
enough coal in the game.
I can't find sheep tar, like the thread. I can't find it. Did it get archived?
Oh, I deleted it. I thought it was a little silly.
No! That was a piece of history!
We make our own history.
Oh, ow. Touche.
But no, yeah. So we got that event planned, and like I said, it's just gonna be a fun, like, big social thing. We might have the zombies come back, since everybody loved that part of the Halloween event. That was the best part. The zombies.
Yeah, the horde of zombies was pretty great.
Oh yeah, it was. It was super awesome.
I wasn't a part of it, but like,
The chat right now.
what's the chat? Hold on, what?
They are not feeling the zombies.
No, but look, Life just joined back on site. Mari joined back on site.
Dude,
Like,
everyone's coming back.
we
The
gotta-
OGs.
We gotta like give them the zombies so they can know. The joy of the zombies. Like, they have to.
Speaking of joy, you guys realize what Bar did, right? During that event? Like, he didn't just kill 50 zombies on Bar. He got on an alt and killed 50 more zombies. That's why his set is so busted OP right now. Like, he put in the work.
Bar is honestly one of my favorite people on site, not just because he's a very good content creator. He's so dedicated to the grind that I do not have.
Oh yeah. Like just for Life and Mari's edification, we had these zombies that you would kill, and when you killed a certain amount, you would get a point, and it was just a whole big thing. You'd go to point shop, get a thing. Anyway, killing the zombies was such a pain that we actually had to decrease the amount of zombies you needed to kill over the course of the event.
Yeah,
We had Cordelia, who would go to 19 posts in her thread so she wouldn't tear up and have to fight the tier 2 zombies.
Honestly, it's pretty funny. Like, I like seeing it after the event. I didn't say anything, but I was just watching quietly and just be like, take notes for next time if we do this again. But now that we're after it, it's just I was laughing.
I mean, like, I did my threads with Joe May, and I could see he was having a hard time, but I weren't, because I had Holy on my weapon that negated that one thing that kept them alive for way too long.
That was the biggest pain, I think, was the revival mechanic on those zombies. But at the time, I would have probably pushed for better rewards if I'd have known how functionally awful the the rewards were.
Guys, I've already got an idea for the zombies for the new event, though. Leprechauns.
Zombie leprechauns.
Yes.
Zombie leprechauns with a look at the Irish ability that makes their crits effective on an 8.
Yes.
That would actually
Oh,
be pretty
Lord.
interesting.
We're gonna run with that, buddy. We're gonna run with that.
You're gonna roll that? All right.
But we're not
sweet.
gonna make him kill like 100 leprechauns. That'd be
Oh
stupid.
no! Just make them a.
They all
Hikoru,
what? They
yeah,
all
I
only have like
trusted
5
you.
HP. They're all too drunk to be,
Yeah,
resilient.
no, but you give them like a drunk mechanic. Like they have to roll a loot die to see if they roll high enough to like attack.
No, everybody's drunk, so the only time you instead of hitting on a BD6, you hit on a a BD7.
Oh gosh, yes, please. Oh, we're so evil as staff. I love it. I love you.
Yeah.
Oh man, things are gonna be fun.
Oh, so fun.
I'm
And
definitely
it'll be
gonna have
worth
to
it at the end.
Oh yeah, I think the reward should be worth it.
Oh yeah, being able to get hammered, like yeah,
That's a pretty great reward, honestly.
it is. It truly
Blast
is.
in light momentum. Life, you think that's gonna do something, buddy? We're gonna give them evasion, dog.
Oh, oh no! Please don't.
Yes. Who's the useless enchantment now?
Cough, cough, still Shadow Path, cough, cough.
Hey! Not an
It's
enchantment.
okay, Hickey. It's okay, Hickey. It's okay.
Okay, I have my puppers right here.
Okay.
So it's gonna
All
hug
of
me a little better.
all of the other unique skills coming out as early as 3.1 are better than Shadow Path. You don't have to feel bad.
Nice.
I'll be better for a while. It's okay. All right, get down, buddy. Good boy.
I can confirm double fisting with, none of my knowledge on what the unique skill team is doing.
It'll be interesting to see how that works out through the rest of the development time.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, interesting conversations we've had. Lots of fun. I do have to give one shout out to our donor in February, Zizisha. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Zisha.
There you go. Thank you very much for your support. We really appreciate it. And again, thank you to all of our past, present, and future donors. We really appreciate all your support. And I know the community does as well because it helps pay for the server, the entire website, keeping it up online, the domain, all the fees for the licensing. And then any extra donation funds left over, we'll put towards maybe some different plugins for the site. One of those was in past, I think, was our economy system. I don't remember if that was a one-time or if that was free. I don't remember, and I don't feel like going to dig it out. But anyways, thank you for all your guys' support and continuing to help grow and use the site. So, where are we at in the front lines? I know you guys said the Labyrinth boss was found, and I think that's the battle going on currently.
They are in the midst of fighting it.
So the Penguin Rangers went through the labyrinth that is floor 24, and it was a long fight.
Go Penguin Rangers!
So yo, I still 24, start my day with that video. It's
floor
amazing.
24 is like, it was so annoying to play in because we kept spawning monsters. We kept like rolling bad, I think it's craft dice.
Yeah.
And we never could take a break because we kept spawning monsters again. And it was getting very annoying very fast.
Yeah, I bet.
What was the problem with this one?
This one?
Yeah. I think when Max says 424, he means 425.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, 424 was still pretty bad.
Was it ever?
It was. I felt sorry for those that had to fight the shaman. I just watched quietly and I was like, oh man, this is bad.
I saw we could call it drama there was because of the difference in parties that were in the boss fight or the labyrinth boss fight. That was something.
I think I remember listening to the podcast where they talked about that in the car, like on the way to college, and I was just like, man, this sucks.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was a while
because
ago.
yeah, the boss healed every other rotation or something between parties. And because there were so many parties, they couldn't deal enough damage to actually kill it fast enough because of its healing.
Mm.
And the parties in the fight were too stubborn to back down to take advantage of the slow healing. So it was just dragged out. But
That sounds like a
25,
mess.
yeah, it was a mess. But 25 was a big labyrinth in itself, a big maze.
Yeah.
But we finally found the boss room, or the labyrinth boss room, and are currently fighting that. And
Yeah.
a good joke came out of that. Well, a joke. Let's just say a joke, not a good joke.
Okay.
No, it was a good joke. It was a good joke, and I'm gonna give you a little context on that when you're done. But it was a good joke.
So yeah, yeet Mac at the dragon.
Yeet Mac
That
at the dragon.
So it was just like a small joke where Mac looked at the ballista and said like, I want to try that. I want to fly. But yeah, we were heavily encouraged not to do that.
yeah, and about that, it's like I thought it was a joke like the whole time, right?
And
But
it
then
was.
around the time that the second ballista rotation was coming up, right? There was this stuff in the gala going down, and I just
Yeah.
had to take a beat. I just had to take a beat. Like, are they actually going to try and yeet Mac at the dragon? Because, like, I'm like, I don't want to kill Mac. He makes my things for me. He made my boots. Like, I don't want to have to kill him, but, that's what's going to happen because fall damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the whole time I knew it was a joke, but like given what was going down around the time the rotation was coming up, I had to be like completely upfront with y'all. Like, you're gonna die. Don't do it. Just to cover
Yeah.
my bases. Because it's never fun when a character dies, and that is speaking from experience, Zane. But especially one that is basically an institution on the site, right? So I just wanted to make sure, we were all on the same page with that.
Yee.
There you go.
My memes were next level even on my first day on the website. We have Zane and we have Old Word, and then we have my hot dog shop.
Hot dogs. Oh yeah. Now that we're talking about hot dogs, some of you guys might have noticed some of those approval stamps that I've made or approval signs that I've made.
They can't hear anything.
And Oscar wanted a hot dog in his, so I gave him a dancing hot dog in his.
Are you serious? Hold on. I'm going
Yeah.
to look now.
Yo,
You did not.
no,
Yeah, he did. It's great.
Go to evaluations. Go to evaluations. Go to the reevaluations topic, the last post on that, and you will see the glorious approval stamp that Macradon gave to me. Because it's not just a dancing hot dog; it is a break dancing hot dog.
It's the one that was on Snapchat for ages.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious.
I used way too much time on that.
That's so
And
great,
I am
though.
very appreciative of that. I really appreciate the hustle, Mac, because it's so worth it.
It does.
Because
So worth
I
it.
love seeing all of these stamps, honestly.
Yeah,
Like-
there's
like-
a lot of them that are just interesting. They were done well. They were done really well.
Thanks.
One day I will be good enough in Photoshop
One
to
day I'll
do
Okay.
something kind of similar to that, maybe.
One day Hick's gonna be laughing at us.
One day.
One day. But just an update, just to formally update the status of the front lines. They're almost, I think, almost into phase 2.
Yeah,
Um,
they're in the red.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I don't think they did quite enough damage over the course of their turn for that last push, but it'll definitely happen. I'm pretty positive it'll happen next turn.
Oh yeah, I can believe it.
Now, when phase 2 starts, it's gonna come in hot. So y'all need to be ready for that.
Oh yeah.
We're looking at you, Penguin Squad.
Like,
Penguin
Yeah,
Squad.
like- there's not gonna be like any reprieve or anything. You're not gonna have a chance to get your energy back. It's just gonna be
Good
phase
night.
2. Get ready.
Wait, do people run out of energy? I've never tried that before.
Well,
People actually
the nature
struggle with that? Wow.
the nature of phase 2, if we handled it properly, y'all are gonna be scraping the bottom of the barrel by the time you finish the fight. It's very much a resource management phase. So make sure
Guys,
you're
I'm gonna throw out a
you're
crazy
praying-
idea for them. Actually, don't use your strongest
Okay.
sword art. Actually,
What?
strategize. Don't
But
just...
I want to do damage.
Yeah, and I bet you also want to survive.
well,
Surviving is for
about damage.
losers.
I can't give you much information on that one, but damage is the least of your concerns, my guy. At least your outgoing damage. Incoming
Yeah.
damage, that's very much a problem.
Eh.
I think there hasn't been an enemy. There isn't an enemy available right now that's going to hit as hard as this thing does single target, and there's a possibility of him dealing more damage based on what you do throughout the fight.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah. This is, and remember, this is my least favorite child. I like the boss more.
Yeah.
And if we're saying this about the lab boss, I barely put any time in. I literally worked on the lab boss while I was on the train home from New Jersey. Okay, I had no Wi-Fi, no signal, no nothing, and I was working on it.
Yeah.
Make sure you rest up for the boss.
Hopefully, hopefully we can use some of the we can recycle some of the bits of the original version and get y'all so that content isn't completely, thrown into the void. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, phase 2 is gonna be if I did it right, because like I'm really nervous. Either it's going to just hit really hard and get you down super low, or it's going to kill everybody. There's no middle ground. I'm
None.
like, we gotta see how this plays out.
So have fun.
And then,
thanks.
yeah. There's no play testing. We're flying by the seat of our pants. You're gonna find out whether or not it's lethal when we find out. I'm sorry.
Sayonara.
And if we do find out, it might be too late. So come with some health pots.
At least you'd be smart to.
You might need it. Wink, wink, nudge, shove. Like bring some meds. You can't rely on your healers all the time. They might be too busy trying to save someone that's lower.
Milk.
I'm out of milk. Get your own.
Speaking of consumables, no one really has to worry about anything when it comes to food buffs. as
Oh yeah.
right now, I've got all of the feasts prepped, and I've got over 50 vitality consumables.
Oh Jesus.
He came prepared.
Jesus.
Yeah, so oh yeah. Oh yeah. And here's the kicker. Those 50 vitality consumables were created over the course of 2 days.
Jeez. What?
Because
What kind of juice are you drinking right now, bro?
Apple
Crafter's
juice.
Respite. Crafter's Respite.
Mm.
And I shit you not, Grandmaster Cook is broken. It's busted as hell. Like, the first crafting day that I did as Grandmaster Cook, no scrap crafts. Nothing lower than rare. So that was 11 items. Most of them were multi-crafts. It's rough, my guy. First world problems.
Definitely sounds like it. All right. Well, that was
And on this,
that's interesting. Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna just try and segue into some 3.0 teasers.
Oh, we'll get there. So
Okay.
I don't know if any of you have read anything or seen any topics from from anyone else that is going on that spikes your interest.
Personally, no, just because I haven't been quite on site as much. I've really been trying to take this vacay as an actual vacay. Like, the only thing I've really been working on is just posting content out on one of my social media things, and I'm kind of an influencer on at this point. And I'm just making sure that's up so they're getting what they need, and then I'm like sleeping a lot, playing video games, spending time with my family because I leave tomorrow to go back to college.
Oh, that's right. Kids are on spring break now.
Get that degree, buddy. Get that degree.
I am attempting.
I
Get
would
that
kill a
piece of
man for the
paper.
opportunity to go to college. I would literally murder someone for the opportunity to go to college.
Let's see here. Anyone else have seen anything that they might have had any interest or want to talk about any threads that they're in that are pretty interesting?
Well, allow me to introduce you to this amazing title of the thread. I haven't read the contents of the thread very much. However, this is a group fight against the Gatekeeper of Fire, which is
Oh
Beats' new
no.
baby.
Oh no.
Honestly, we'll get into why I think that was such a good boss, and in a minute. But the title of this thread is Mac won't stop flirting with Baldur, and Baldur is into it. Cord and Mari are now a third wheel.
Oh my goodness.
And basically what is happening in here is about what you expect. There are two cute women in the thread, but Mac and Baldur are more interesting at hitting on each other. And we have one post here on post 11 where Macradon has photoshopped a blushing gray-haired Crom, which is his face claim. Basically, it's the best thing I've read in quite some time.
Well, there you go.
I remember I hopped into chat and people said you need to read this, and I said, can I read it out loud? And let me tell you what, that was a fun chat because everyone was dying of laughter. I was talking in my succulent voice as this whole thing went down, and let me tell you, I'm pretty sure somebody was not thinking good thoughts during that whole thing.
And then we've also got A Kiss to Build a Dream On, which is a date thread between Lessa and Bar, which is currently sitting on 53 replies.
What?
53 replies. Like, these kids are busting out. And these aren't like 53 150-word replies. Like, they putting in the work. Like, this is what we want to see.
Cute.
This is
the drama we need.
This is the drama you want.
Speaking of drama, we still have the dual thread We have the dual thread between bar and pinball, which Les is a part of as well. Um, that ended. When did that end? Actually, ended 15 hours ago. It just ended, and it was pretty dramatic. For those of you guys who are familiar with Bar's character, he was tight with Curbs, and Pinball murdered Curbs, and Pinball tried to murder Bar and Oscar as well.
There's
So
a
there was some tension, and this is a very good thread. It's if you like the PvPs, um, really good. And what else do we have going on? Audience, give me a hand.
I think Mario
definitely,
said
I saw
something
something
about her
about
thread.
light. The light threads, the light thing is what Cord talked about. I don't know what that.
The light thread.
Yeah, this is what Cord's talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know about it, Mac? If you do, take it away.
I don't. I'm trying to look for.
Waiting
yeah,
for
the Waiting for the Light.
PvP threads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the title of that one.
Yeah.
Sanctuary.
Oh yeah, Sanctuary. Yo, Bar and Les have found a cult.
Oh my goodness.
What cult?
It was a cult, and they were trying to Jim Jones off the side of a cliff.
Oh, that's great. Yo, real talk. Speaking of cults, there was a thought that I had about a month ago, and I was like, what if I made the unique skills have more lore backgrounds through quests? And like Achilles would be like of either like a Roman tribe or like a Viking tribe that know about Achilles. Definitely like Darkness Blade would have had like a cult, and like you had to learn about the information of Darkness Blade, you had to kill someone. Like I thought it would be really cool, and then everyone's like, but wouldn't you develop one for yourself? And I was like, yeah. And I don't want people thinking that I'm doing this for my own like self-worth. I just thought it was a cool idea, so I kind of scrapped it. It would have been fun for lore's sake. It would have been cool, but like,
it sounds really fun. It does sound really fun.
I might put it up somewhere for staff or something else.
Okay. But I say we because I'm on staff, but I kind of don't want to take credit for this, but it's something that I've got to deal with. We kind of mishandled unique skills in the past, and we acknowledge that.
Multiple times.
All of us, we acknowledge that. So ultimately, what is for the playing field to be fair, there's something that bothers me though. It's like, the people working on the unique skills cannot possibly have a unique skill because they know how to get it. But then at the same time, it's like, that's kind of a heavy hit, I get for transparency's sake, that's why that's a thing, but I gotta give mad props to the people working on the unique skills and the distribution method because they are taking a really big sacrifice to do that.
Yeah, it's just tough having to balance something that, or not more so balance, but evenly deal with the unique skills just in a way that it's reasonable. But you gotta keep in mind that they're meant to be a little OP, but I mean that's where it gets kind of hard just because it's limited. There's only a few of them that are gonna be able, and it's just something that could tip the scales. But it's not an easy job by any means. So those guys doing what they're doing, it's a feat in and of itself.
Yeah. just it's hard to work on something you know you will never actually get to reap the benefits of.
Oh,
You know,
I know. I was when it first started, I was actually a part of the team. I kind of phased out because of just IRL stuff, but like I went in knowing like even though I have unique skill, if I left site, I would never be able to get one. Now, I don't know if that still qualifies for me because I'm not technically a part of the group anymore. I haven't put any work towards it, and I really don't know how to gain the unique skills. Like I really don't. But I went in knowing full well like this is what's happening, but I want everyone to have a fair chance at what I have had the pleasure of having myself. Because unique skills are cool. They're very fun to have to use. Like for me personally, my character went in a completely different direction when I got Shadowed Path. I was gonna be your basic DPS. I was gonna be full on like when if two handed came out, I would have changed to that. I was gonna have charge. I was gonna have everything, and then this happened, and I realized like, what is this? What is stealth? What is the stealth mechanic? Let me figure this out. I had to learn a completely different side of the site that I never planned on touching, and it was so much fun to learn and to grow. Because if you get a unique skill that does not fit your character, I implore you to take it because it is so much fun. I come for Calrex and for Sendom and for Zelrius, they all have unique skills that fit their character perfectly. I did not. I came from the side where it did not fit my character when he started out, but it turned it into such a character that I fell in love with more than I would have if I didn't.
Fixed character, you got, I think, if I remember right, you did like a complete 180 from the
Absolutely.
intended character path you were trying to take.
Absolutely. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Canonically, you couldn't
interesting.
fit a skill that didn't fit your character. I agree, but at the time, Shadowed Path was just for dagger users. It really wasn't all about stealth. Really wasn't. So if you had a dagger, you could use it. Like that was basically it at the time. It really didn't have anything unique to it.
It's because it was used for dagger that it easily translated over into the stealth mechanic.
Exactly. That's exactly how my character went. It was
Because if you look
and
into like the D&D aspect, dagger characters that are using daggers are most likely your rogues and your stealthy type players.
and canonically, you'll think the Kobold Lord was the boss of floor one, and we all know that that didn't happen here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It was
We
what a
we
group.
are a little departed from the canon at this point.
Just a smidge.
Just a stitch. But it was to cap it off what I was saying. If in the future you get a chance for a unique skill that you somehow unlock, I'm not going to give any hints whatsoever because I'm strictly not allowed to, and I really don't understand it enough to try to give a hint. But if you somehow unlock it and it doesn't quite fit your character, like it's one of those that you're like, it's like those two branching paths. Take the one less traveled by. Like, take it and run and see where you go. Because if I didn't take Shadowed Path when I did, with Hick when he was just starting out, I probably wouldn't have stayed on site. Like, that was what kept me going, is Shadowed Path, and I wanted to see what it could do, how I could use it, etc., etc., etc. It helped. It was really fun to go from there. Like seeing these high level players with unique skills, and they're super cool and super like they're the people you want to be on site, and then eventually I'm sitting here and I'm one of those people. It's very nostalgic and it's very strange. It was fun, and I'm just speaking from experience. I think it was one of those things that I'll never regret as a writer and as a content creator. I think it was one of the better steps of my decisions that I made.
Well, at this time, I think we're gonna just because of the slow delay between here and the actual stream. At this time, we're gonna allow people to jump into the call-in section of the Discord to, if they want to come on, chat with us, say some things. Aside from that, if you have any questions that you want to address, just go ahead and plot them in chat. I've been trying to grab them as they came up. I know I've got one from live so far. And if there's anything that Oscar, Mac, or Hick that you want to talk about with potential staff stuff or anything of the like, go ahead and
Staff
take
is
the floor.
working.
I have updates on several things. Meant to get this to you guys a while ago, but and mind you, this information I'm sharing, it is subject to change. It's not set in stone. However, we currently have the leveling convention, XP rates, sword arts, and a current discussion on gathering and fishing that I want to share with you guys that's coming with 3.0. So first, I will have documents in the 3.0 discussion chat after the podcast if you want to see this information for yourself. But we're going to go ahead and jump into it. The new leveling convention, the chart is too massive for me to actually just go into. But the current leveling convention is when you finish a thread, you have a choice. You can either take the per page reward or the word count reward. Now, the per page reward, if you do the bare minimum, that's the one you want to take, just for simplicity's sake, because it's going to convert to essentially the same level of reward as what we're getting now. But the word count reward is for those of you who go above and beyond and really want to get the most XP for your effort. So you can choose when you close a thread to take that reward. So if it's just the SP that you're just trying to get out of the way, take the page. Take the page rewards.
That's gonna be interesting. Gives
I think
gives
that's
people
gonna be
options
really
for
good.
different types of word plays.
Exactly.
Yeah. And another thing you're doing, we're doing here, is the grind to be able to go to the front lines is going to be much shorter. Just to put this into perspective, I did basically only quests. I think I had maybe 5 threads that weren't quests. And I did 54 of them to reach tier 3. And that's the minimum. Level 50 is the minimum to be able to go into a boss raid, right? 54 threads, 198,000 words.
Jeez.
That's what it takes to be able to join the front lines right now in 2.0 or 2.67482 or whatever the crap we're on. So lost your train of thought. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, after floor 25, once we hit floor 26, the upper limit will be tier 4. I think the level cap will be level 40 with Paragon levels. So Paragon levels function like this. You don't stop earning experience once you hit level cap. You will still get experience for every thread you do. And once you hit the breakpoints for, level 45, level 50, every 5 levels, you get extra health, extra energy, and 5 extra SP. It's at every 5 levels you get, just a reward. And then when we reach the next tier, your level unlocks because you've already reached level 50. You won't have to grind up to level 50. Um, but you won't be eligible to re-earn Paragon levels that you've already earned, right? You can't double dip. But what this means is there won't be such a huge gulf between the players that are like near level cap and that just hit level 50. Because like Xander has almost twice my health, you know, and because he's almost level cap and infinitely more skill points than I do. So what we're gonna do is just cap everybody at level 40 because that's what it's gonna be when we hit floor 26, and then you can earn extra stuff by just being active on the site.
Seems interesting. Definitely would give somebody options. So we'll see. I mean, again, people to keep in mind it's subject to change at any time, as it's still an ongoing development process. So currently it may seem like it's not going to work, but I'm sure with the great development team we have, it's going to turn out to be something that could be really good for the site. Just because I know there's a lot of people that don't like having to hit a ward minimum, or just to get more, but being able to exceed that and get higher rewards, I think that's going to turn out for the better.
I honestly think the opposite's going to happen, and people are actually going to try a little harder instead of just trying to blitz outposts as fast as possible. Because like a good chunk of my role plays that I've done on this side have been objective garbage, just because I had to hit that 150 limit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was basically repetitive. It was basically repetitive. Do you know how many ways you can describe hitting something with your axe? Not a lot of ways. I could have actually copy pasted like most of my stuff and it wouldn't be that different. So even if it gets abused, I would prefer a system in which people are rewarded for going above and beyond than the system we have.
Yeah. But no, we'll see how it goes with development.
Yeah. But moving on to the sword arts, we have actually managed to make one-handed weapons not trash.
All right.
Because you're already dealing with the whole issue of like you already have 2 less base damage with the one-handed weapon than with the two-handed, and that's a significant loss. But and mind you, we've got a sword art list, and we've actually got some play testing here. The lowest number I'm seeing from one-handed weapons right now over 10 turns is 972 damage with curved sword, but it's not a damage weapon. It's the utility weapon. And then you compare that with, two-handed weapons. Curved sword does 900 something, and then we go to, two-handers. They're still significantly more powerful, but you're still dealing damage. It's 1380 for a katana versus 970 something for one-hander. And thematically, you shouldn't be hitting as hard with a one-hander as you do with a two-hand. But the difference isn't so profound. We've got one thing that's happened is we've introduced 2 new basically weapon abilities. Before we just had stun and AoE. Now we've got something called focus and delay. Don't ask me what delay is. At this point, I still don't know, and I'm too afraid to ask. You could probably ask Bar something. He'll be able to get you an answer, but I've never been quite clear on what delay does. Focus, however, lowers your crit threshold from 9 to 8. So you get more crits. And then AoE and stun are basically the same thing. And the thing to note that instead of spamming your highest damage sword art, you actually have a rotation you've got to go through because your sword arts have cooldowns now. So instead of me spamming Screw Dimension every turn, it's, I go, let me find the axe here so I can just give you some names. That's Assault Spear. Okay, so it's like, Screw Dimension, then Dynamic Violence, Crescent Avalanche, and then back to Screw Dimension. That way there's a flow to the combat, and these sword arts that you don't normally use are seeing more use, because that's been a big problem, is once you hit Grandmaster, you only use your Grandmaster tier sword arts.
Yeah.
No, with Focus, 8 and 9 are lesser crits, and 10 is still the crit boom.
I call it the mega crit. We need to actually give them names. Like, we can call them whatever, but like, really,
Let's
it can't be
call
really
one
confusing.
Hickey. Oh
God, no. I don't want to be known
And
for that.
then, and like I said, all of this, you guys are going to be getting your hands on all of this information as soon as the podcast is over. Just so you guys can go through and give us feedback, what you like, what you don't like. If you don't like it, please don't say, I don't like this. Please explain why. We need that context, because for better or worse, the system we decide on is what the site is stuck with for the foreseeable future. So now is the opportunity to give us feedback, what you would like to see change. Give us maybe an idea of where you think it should go, because 3.0 took 5 years. If we make a mistake, we don't want to be stuck with it for another 5 years. So please help us help you.
Yeah, we always love hearing feedback from you guys. So the more feedback we get, the better the development we can do, and the more options we can get you guys for your role plays.
Absolutely. And then the final thing that I've got to share with you guys, and this is probably something you should take with the largest grain of salt, is changes to the gathering and fishing skill. This is currently being discussed, but this is just the pitch that I have up right now. Basically, gathering and fishing are going to follow leveling conventions like the crafting profession. Instead of just sinking SP into it and getting bonuses when you attempt to gather or fish, it's going to be something you cultivate on your character. Currently, the functioning idea is you will only have one of those skills. You can have gathering or you can have fishing. And honestly, I really need to change gathering to a new name like herbalism, or I pick flowers good, something. So there's 5 ranks, and you get experience based on gathers. You will get experience on an attempt regardless. But if you're successful, you get more, and then if you get a crit success, you get more still. But each of these gathering professions, that's the working name, once you hit Grandmaster, they have a unique thing. So for gatherers, after you hit Grandmaster, if you get an LD20 CD12, you will get a demonic shard instead of materials. You can take 3 of those and upgrade a perfect item to demonic quality. And an LD12 or an LD20 CD12 is extremely rare. So we don't have to worry about super inundating, the community with a ton of demonics with that system. But it's just something you can do to, increase your power, because what we've got now is once you get equipped with all your perfects and whatnot, you hit a wall unless you get a neat drop from a boss or an event, right?
Facts.
So there's no way for you to like progress further. And that's something that I want to address with 3.0 is to have a progression system that isn't a 1 in 10,000 chance to get a useful unique on a weapon or on a piece of armor. But then for fishing, their unique ability is to fish up a gleaming scale on an LD20 CD12. And what this lets you do is go to a merchant, take 3 gleaming scales, and convert one enhancement to a unique enhancement on their table, right? So they will roll for the new enhancement on that item. And then I've got 2 quest ideas pitched. That's basically Challenge of Olympus, but for gathering and fishing, you'll get an item that gives you bonuses when you try to do this stuff. But like I said, this one's currently up for discussion. This might change. Don't just take it with a huge grain of salt. But yeah, that's where we're at on the gathering and the fishing. And I don't have a doc for this, but the current idea for crafters is you'll be able to consume materials and lower rarity crafts to upgrade that to a higher rarity so that nobody wastes their crafts. But I'm done with my really verbose nonsense.
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to touch on?
Nope.
All right. So, just so you guys know, if you have any interest in joining us on the staff team, there's always a position open. However, please make sure you meet the requirements and show that you are, have some stuff that are gonna move us forward. Don't just throw out some, low application, because it normally doesn't work. But in any rate, if you want more info about our different teams, go ahead and contact the respective leaders. I know Bar is a good contact for the systems team, and for the floor team, or even plot, you're going to want to reach out to either Morgenstern or Lessa. All our staff try really hard, and really want to make this the best place for you guys to continue to grow as your characters progress. I know we had one question from Life about saying any plans on the development of any World Seed games. We here at SAO-RPG don't really have any hand in what happens over there, just because it's running coincided and it's not taken off after the Aincrad system. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I cannot give you any answers on that. If anyone has any, I know that we've had some ups and downs in the Minecraft server, but I've fixed that. If anyone has any interest in picking that back up, go ahead and get in touch with me, and we'll. I just want to know if people are interested. I know people play on it, but haven't really done any progress on the SAO side of things. But again, if you're interested, hit me up, shoot me a message, something.
Carrier pigeon also works.
That indeed, but careful. I
Facts.
think sharks might eat it if it gets too low to the water. Let's see. I don't have anything. If anyone has any, no, I haven't seen anyone jump in the call in. If anyone wants to do that, feel right ahead. Feel free, go right ahead. We're just gonna start mixing sentences now, because Saturdays.
It's for the boys.
One
Yeah.
thing we forgot to do As I know this happened a little bit ago,
Life.
but
It's the call in, not the podcast. Go ahead, Oscar. Sorry.
congratulations to Axios and Bar for their promotions.
Oh, that's right. I did.
think
I did bring in Axios as my as my admin, because I do have plans on stepping back a bit.
And Bar is my boss now. It's not working well for him. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little bit of a maverick. I do what I want.
You're the maverick to his goose.
Yes.
I really hope people
But
caught that.
no, seriously. Bar's an excellent GM. You know, he and I, we've been friends for like almost 10 years now. We actually met role playing. We've been writing together ever since we met. You know, he got me into this this website. He actually got me into NML, which is my other community. So if ever there was someone qualified for the position he's in, it's definitely him. I'm not saying that because he paid me.
Wait, he paid you for this? Damn, I'm missing out.
Yeah, same. I need some money.
Shark, we got to discuss my wages when this podcast is over.
Shit, I'm gonna try to discuss my wages first.
What are you talking about? This is volunteer work.
Yeah, Shark.
And,
Like, I want to have
honestly,
my wages gone up like 200% at least.
You guys,
200% of zero
you know what?
is still zero.
We're done.
Exactly.
I'll accept that. All you guys are getting a 200% 200% raise.
Yes.
Best boss,
I
best
get
boss.
300
Yeah.
because I'm the co-host.
Hickey, you get a 35% bonus on top of your 20% raise, the 200% raise.
Everybody just gets to double their current SP count.
Yes, yes, thanks. I want to
Yeah,
have
thanks.
1020 SP. Sure, why not?
Same.
Yo, if
Let's do
if
it.
that happened, I would be as strong as Macradon, and I could feel what he feels, just rippling with strength.
With power.
I feel existential dread. For
Who's
sure.
who's the
I can
strongest
try.
person right now? I haven't even kept up to date with that.
I think Bar actually does. Either Bar or Pinball, they do the most damage and most reliable damage.
Yeah,
Okay,
Bar
back
has
is-
the highest
going
DPS.
back to the days where I was at the top and then Calyrex shortly after.
I mean, like, Calyrex is strong, but he's a tank. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
He does decent
mean, if
damage and he does decent tanking.
If we're talking about sheer utility, it's probably got to be Hestia.
Yeah.
Because she's tanking and also she's healing. So there is that.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
At any rate,
I do
think-
crit damage. That's all I can do.
I hit people with a stick and hope they explode. That's
That's about all we do.
There you go. That's all you need. But seeing as
This
no
is
one's
very
jumped in the
hard.
call in, I think we're gonna be wrapping it up here shortly.
Yeah.
And now a word from our sponsors.
okay. Can I do a quick shout out for the Rollerblade gang? We don't like the scooter gangs anymore. We're gonna take over the territory and
gosh.
see you in the playground.
4 p.m. sharp.
Yeah, 4 p.m.
I feel like
we
I've
have,
missed
we have
a
class
meme
up
here.
until 3:30.
I feel like I've missed a meme and I'm kind of upset. But nobody's in the call in, and I asked for this time, so this is serious talk with Hick.
And now an announcement from Hickey.
Everyone can make a legacy. Everyone can make a name for themselves when they work for it. When I came onto this site, I did not expect to make anything as strong as the legacy I have now. And I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying I've made a name for myself and my character. He is in charge of the info brokers. He is the wielder of one of the 2 unique skills on site.
He has one of the highest crit calcs seen since Zell's time when we fought the Leviathan. My character was spoken to by Kayaba in the floor 23 boss fight. I've been the center of many memes, many jokes, many laughs at, and it's all been in good fun. But every legacy doesn't become a legacy until it ends. This was a very, very hard decision. Because I love this community. This community has been a part of my life since I was 15 years old. And now here I am turning 22, and I've just watched this place grow from such a small community where we had 2 central people that did all the damage to now a whole front lines fighting together, fighting labyrinth bosses. And I've been around for a long time. I was here back when they were barely fighting off the floor 10 boss.
I think I was a GM at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, you would just become a GM. And now here we're at the floor 25 boss. And I've been staff for a long time. Not my whole time, but But my life has become so much than this site. And I've come to realize in the past couple months that I have not been giving my 100% to site anymore. And it's not by choice. It's never by choice that I would want to do what I have to do. But my time here has come to an end. I am retiring from being a part of staff, and I'm also retiring my character. Hick will no longer be a PC. He will no longer be who I am. He will be an NPC. I am giving him to the plot development team once all my current threads are done. Shadowed Path will no longer be controlled by a player. It will be going back into staff for staff to do whatever. And this was a very hard choice to make.
Hick, you'll be missed. We thank you for all your countless time and effort going into the site and what it's grown to since joining staff. Uh, we have seen you grow tenfold since the start, even before staff. So being able to see you progress through all this time and seeing where you've come today versus where you started has been incredible. And I know the work that you've done for the floor team ever since has been absolutely fantastic, and your time here will not be forgotten. We thank you for your time.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm crying. I told you guys I would, and it's hard. But the main reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to do a job, give 50% of my effort. I don't want to do a job and not be happy with the quality of it. And that was a lot of what this labyrinth boss was, and a lot of things were. It was very just a rough time mentally with accepting that my time here would, because I always wanted to eventually become a GM and to help the site grow. That was always my goal, was to help the site grow. And while I didn't get to fulfill what I wanted, I did what I needed. And I will be leaving the Discord once my time is up. I'm not leaving staff effective immediately. I have some last minute things that I'm going to put in there. I have 3 threads that I'm doing, and those are the last threads that I'll be doing with my character. And this also means that if I do come back, I will have to start fresh. And I think that's something that I'm a little bit excited for. And I think that is the reason why I can leave on a good note and not sour that I have to leave behind such a strong character. It's because he's at a point where I can't really write for him anymore. His story has been told. And I think it's his time to retire. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone that's a part of this community. You guys helped me in the lowest part of my life and now at one of the highest. I love you all so much. And don't feel like that after I leave that's the end of any friendships that I've made here. I'm always willing to hear about stuff. And please don't get me wrong in thinking that I'm leaving on a bitter note, because I'm not saying this out of bitterness. I'm just saying this in reality. I'm not gonna leave like me. I'm not gonna leave burning all the bridges that I made. I wanted to be a person here that would make a name for themselves when I started out. And this site helped me realize that wasn't. My goal was to make this place better. And I hope that's what I have of doing. I can't take full credit, because trust me, you can ask any of the systems people, especially as Axios. I am not the best, and I put them hell with some of my quests and trying to balance those. And I have but
we had to. I don't mean to interrupt, but we did have to use the Book of the Damned to raise his Sense of the Wild quest chain from the dead.
oh
It
god,
didn't get no attention for like 2 years.
god, you guys made me so happy. You don't get how happy.
Well, honestly, it was content you should be proud of, man. It's good quest. It's the rewards are, because that's why I do quests, for the rewards. The rewards aren't so overpowered that you absolutely have to do them, but they're nice perks, and it brings a little more depth to character customization, because in any given thread you can do something different. Um, yeah, what life said. And like at the time, like I didn't know you had been wanting to leave, and I was just pushing for it at that point because of the content drought. But like I told you before, I'm really glad that I pushed as hard as I did, and we got the traction we did, because that's an excellent way for you to part ways with the community.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna be a mess when
But just a little advice from a 27-year-old assistant manager at a discount store. Um, you're making the right call here, dude. Um, don't 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 feel bad because you're prioritizing your life. Um, never feel bad for bettering yourself. Sometimes we have to make sacrifices that we don't want to make in order to do it. But what you're doing now takes some balls, and personally, I'm proud of you.
I think we all are.
Thank you.
Well, as we wrap this up, again, on behalf of the SAO-RPG staff, Hick, we thank you for your time here, and again, you will be missed. And we look forward to any return that you may have, whether it's just a chat or joining fresh. But we'll see, and again, we'll really will miss you.
I'll miss you guys too.
So as always, we're gonna wrap up the the show here. We'd like to thank you guys all for tuning in. I'd like to give a huge thanks to Macradon and Oscar for taking time out of their schedules to join us today. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And Hick, you've been a wonderful co-host this season, and I look forward
Thank you.
to seeing where your life goes. Keep in touch.
Same.
I will.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day.